But before my father passed away, I took him on a fishing trip, and I managed to have him relax, I guess, and enough to the point where all of a sudden, unsolicited, he said, "I remember when I enlisted in the Army Air Corps in 42. And he shared story after story. When I grew up, like most World War II veteran families, our fathers didn't share their experiences. They didn't talk about it. They kept this stuff inside of them. So hearing these stories was just amazing to me. I mean, I complained about being crowded in the 727 in the middle seat on short notice flights because I couldn't get a better seat. And all of a sudden I realized, here's my dad. He was flying in an unpressurized, unheated plane, 25,000 feet, 50 below zero, on oxygen, and in combat. I mean, it was amazing. Well, he cut a tape. I promised him I'd transcribe it. I was working full time. I put it on a shelf. I'll get to it. 2 years later, cancer took him. I've got a tremendous gift in having that tape and listening to him talk directly to me. You know, let me tell you what I did. So I transcribed that tape, had 100 questions after I typed up 12 pages of information. Started what turned out to be a 3-year journey, trying to learn more and more what the men who flew in the 8th Air Force and fought in the air war over Germany had actually gone through. During that 3 years, besides learning more than I could have ever imagined I would, I met many, many terrific men and women who served in World War II. Most were Air Force veterans because that was the focus. But after 3 years, I ended up as the author of the book, The Promise Kept. The book itself contains my dad's story and stories of 7 other World War II veterans that participated in the Army Air Corps. And it was in meeting those veterans that brought me to the Honor Flight program. One of the veterans I met in Wisconsin told me, he said, "I got to tell you what happened." He said, "This group from Milwaukee, Wisconsin called me, and they said, you want to go on a trip to Washington, D.C., free." He said, "We had to get on a bus early, like 3 o'clock in the morning, and go down to Milwaukee, and they flew us back." He said, "Man, we went to the World War II Memorial. It was awesome. We never got thanked when we came back from World War II." He said, "And all of a sudden there were people coming up to us, shaking our hands and hugging us and thanking us for what we did over 60 years ago." He said, "This is something." He said, "I didn't get to bed till 11 o'clock that night back home. I was thoroughly exhausted, but it was a trip of a lifetime." So I started looking into the Honor Flight program. My father, again, had passed away. Found out this memorial had been dedicated in 2004, and I made up my mind that while I couldn't get my dad there, I was going to get as many other World War II veterans back there to get the recognition they never received. The Honor Flight program is a national program. Started in late 2004 with one man with his private plane taking one veteran who wanted to see the memorial. And it has grown now to a national program in 41 states with over 117 hubs scattered across the country. Tom Brokaw referred to this group of our citizens as the greatest generation. And that's not just the veterans, the 16 million who served in World War II. This whole country participated in World War II. You think about it, the rationing, saving aluminum, nylons, growing crops, and the women that went to war, build the water, the tanks, the planes that the men fought with. This whole country was involved in World War II. We take them back to the World War II Memorial, and that's a slot of it. You're looking crossways from the entrance of the memorial, and you're looking at the Lincoln Memorial. If you turn around and face the opposite direction, you're facing the Washington Monument. It's right in the middle of the Washington Mall area. I got slides later, but one is the Pacific Pavilion, the other is the Atlantic Pavilion. Each one of those columns going around, in granite, has chiseled in the name of a state or a province that had been served in World War II, defending our country and its freedoms.